Hello, Mario. Engineering Surveying 2017 Zealandia Project Briefing. Hello, welcome. The Zealandia Project Briefing is engineering surveying. So let's get into the Moodle site, and we'll go and have a look in assessment. Here it is here, and down in here in assessment, the Zealandia project assignment. So what we have here is the actual assignment here, and then some various resources and things that have been associated with it in previous years. So let's just have a look at the assignment. Here it is here. Get that up full noise. Possibly just expand it a little bit. There we go. So engineering surveying, Zealandia project. It's due Friday the 17th of November. That's the actual end of term date, the start of exams. So I've given it the full length of the semester. Each student to produce a unique assignment. So you'll be sharing the information, but each student will be presenting their own assignment. Using the material and data collected as part of a team during field operations. Now, the field operations may be as part of smaller teams or larger teams, depending on the situation. So in some cases, it might be all of us collecting the data as we have the one GPS system in place. In some cases, it may be two groups working independently. So that will depend on the circumstances. Each report must include copies of the original field notes. If there are field notes, we'll largely be using GPS and modern technologies and data recorders, so there might not be as much field notes as we have done in the past. And other data collected during the teams, which might be photographs and what have you. The report and copying documentation is to be emailed to the tutor as a single PDF document in a digital PDF format, no later than 11:59 p.m. on the due date. So the learning outcomes here are, there's 4 learning outcomes for the course, and parts of them are encompassed in the operations that we do: survey computations, errors, accuracy, probability, survey specialisation, and methods, undertake a range of site and engineering survey tasks, and health and safety. Now, the percentage of the total mark is 28%. And that the aim, I'll show you how that's broken down a little bit later on. Now, the aim of the assessment is it's trying to be a real situation where we're got a piece of land that we need to do a full topographical survey on it, because a client wants to develop the piece of land into perhaps a student accommodation, so a series of little flats and things like that for students. So they'll need a full topo, but also need some survey control to set out what's there, depending on what the proposal comes up with, whether it be multi-unit, duplex, single, whatever. So we'll just have to, that's how it goes. To reduce, close and adjust the measurements and present them in a format to meet the client's requirements, which would be for further development of the land and design and what have you. So the objective is to undertake the survey, to undertake the development of, enable the development of the project land. So the client will need a full digital surface that they can be confident that they can do design on. The 2017 will include the establishment of survey control for future construction purposes, and that'll be approximately 10% of the assignment. The measurement of topographical detail to enable design, that'll be another 10%, and the set out of proposed infrastructure and buildings as required during the course of the design phase, that'll be worth 8% to give us our 28% total. To present the findings in a form of a report and digital data to meet the client requirements. So we need to, present the client with a finished job that would enable them to be able to design a suitable development of the land fully. So that might include services, underground services existing, and what have you. Now, the marking schedule, it's very difficult to nail down exactly what the marking schedule will be in detail, because we're working on the project, and it'll vary depending on the situation. So we're going to take the existing situation that we've got there, so there's a small amount of existing control there, and we'll be checking that and getting that sort of up to scratch. We may add some additional control depending on how we think things are going, so that will need to be discussed and planned, and then we'll work from there. And then we'll also do the topographical, which could also depend a little bit on client requirements. So while we have a pretty good idea of what we need, the exact scope in that is not really known at this point until we do further investigation. So we have done a similar project last year and the year before, and so I've got a bit of a breakdown there of how things might look, and we'll possibly follow that, but there could be other options in there. So we've got some survey mark construction, we've got the digital levelling out to get some accurate levels, some GPS control. We did a poster there as part of the GPS control setup to illustrate, for the client who was perhaps thinking of buying some GPS equipment. So we did a bit of an evaluation for that particular client at that time. Some finder diagrams for the new marks, which may or may not supplement some of the existing data that we have, and survey plans and a report, obviously a plan of detail of the control and the boundaries of it, which will also control the job and to some extent. Then there'll be the topo, which will create a feature code library for that, and a survey brief involved in that, just showing the extent of the topo and giving the client a fair idea of what they're going to get, and from our point of view, confirming what we believe they need. A topographical survey poster again, showing that was included in that sort of work, just to show the client exactly what we did and what they were getting. Topo data collection, which we went out in the field and did, and then the finished topo plans, with a little bit of breakdown of the percentages of each there to make up the marks. From the set out point of view, we did the 10-state challenge and reach for the skyline. However, we may be looking at some further work with the robotic total station this year, possibly even the total stations that we have already, to perhaps do some free station work with those, just to see what we can achieve. So there's room for a little bit of variation within the scope there, but that will be decided at the time. So so that's pretty much the detail at this stage, or the overview of the project. I think we'll now just pop out of there and just have a look at some of the resources that are available in the Moodle site. So you can see here we've got the assignment there. The survey control here is the most recent control, and if you have a look here, you'll see that there's been some marks added and some coordinates for those marks, but probably need to firm those up a little bit, particularly with levels and coordinates, just to maybe key them in and perhaps put some bearings and distances to them as well. So that's going to be part of that. There's been no change in the boundaries, and things have changed, but they hasn't been rephotographed. So that's the most recent survey control plan that we have, and that's upgraded from that's that same plan in a DWG format, which might be quite helpful. And then this 2015 survey control was there. One of the things we're going to have to be looking at is a survey brief. So there's some information here regarding a survey brief and a video on their requirements. And then there's also the assessment breakdown here from 2016, which is a total assessment breakdown, which includes the worksheets, the diary, tests, and up to the whole 50%. So as you can see, we've got the 28% of the assignment, the 8% with the worksheets, which is 36. 4 to the diary, and 2 tests is 10, which is the internal component of all of the assessment for this course. So that's just there as a guide. Now, if we go up the top here, we've got some Zealandia videos here, which are some videos that are helpful with regards to 12D and how to input the information into and out of 12D for the Zealandia project. So just some information there, and some the survey brief video again has been put in there. There's also here some data of various forms, data that's been collected at different times, some as-built data from the Wintec archives, some LINS data from LINS plans, and some data from previous years of other work that's been done in the Zealandia Park area. So we've got all of that to consider as we put together our 2017 project plan for our client. So this can affect the various outcomes and things like that. So that's our starting point for the Zealandia project. The intention is the Zealandia Park is used as a learning facility in a number of ways. So we're hoping to improve our ability to use it with some better data, or improved data and more user-friendly. Also, some of our marks from previous years have been covered over or rendered redundant, so we need to perhaps look at that and look at how we might replace them or what we might do with them. So these are all considerations that are pretty real in the most survey projects that you have to deal with. But with that realism comes a little bit of sort of unknown quantities and things that need to be dealt with at the time. So I'm really looking forward to getting this project off the ground and enjoying the cut and thrust of working on in a real situation. So that's concludes the briefing. Cheers. See you.